Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about datetime functions in Oracle. These functions operate on values of date data type. All the datetime functions return a value of datetime or interval of date data type, except month between function, which returns the number data type. There are various datetime functions are available in Oracle. Let's look at them one by one. The first function in the list is add months, which adds or subtracts the specified number of months to the date we pass. Let's look at the syntax of add months function. So add months takes two parameters as an input. The first parameter is column name, which is of date data type, and the second parameter is the month offset, which we want to add or subtract from this date column. Let's look at some of the practical examples of using add months. So here we are using sysdate, which gives us the current date time in Oracle, and we pass the month offset as 2 to add 2 months in the current date. So let's run this query. If you look at here, the current date in the system is 24th of October 2024, and we have added 2 months in this current date, and hence we are getting 24th of December 2024. We can also subtract the number of months from the specified date. To do so, we can use the minus operator with the month offset. So here I have subtracted 2 months from our current date. So let's run this query. The current system date is 24th October 2024, and if we subtract 2 months from current date, we are getting 24th of August 2024. Okay, let's use this add months function with our employee table. Here we have a date column which is hire date. Let's add 1 month to each date mentioned here. So let's select some of the columns from the table: employee name, job, hire date, and use this add months function with hire date column and add 1 month. Let's go ahead and run this query. So here we have the output. If you look at the hire date, which is there in the table, the value for this column is 17th December 80, whereas when we have added 1 month to it, this has become 17th January 81. Similarly, we have added 1 month to 20th of February 81, which becomes 20th of March 81. So this is how we can use the add months function. Next function is last day function, which returns the last day of a specified date. So let's look at the syntax of last day, which takes only one parameter as an input, which is nothing but a date column or a value of date data type. Let's look at some of the examples of last day date function. So here we have specified a date 19th June 2022, and let's see what is the last day for this month. So the last day for this month is 30th of June 2022. Let's take another example and use the column sysdate to get the current date time and see what is the last date for this current month, which is October. So the current date is 24th October and the last day of this month is 31st of October 2024. This is how we use last day function. The next function in the list is month between, which calculates the number of months between two dates. So let's look at the syntax of this month between datetime function. This function takes two parameters as input, which is date 1 and date 2. So let's look at some of the practical examples of months between function. So here we have taken two dates. The first one is 2nd December 1995 and second one is 2nd October 1995. Let's run this query and calculate the months between these two dates, which is 2. The next function is new time, which converts a date and time from one time zone to another. Let's look at the syntax of this new time date function. So here is the syntax of new time function, which takes three parameters as input, which is date, the time zone 1 and time zone 2. So it converts the date from time zone 1 to time zone 2. Let's look at the sum of example of new time function. Please remember to change the date format to display 24-hour time before using this new time function. So here first I am setting the date format to 24-hour. Let's run this. And then I'm using this new time function to convert this date time from EST to PST. So let's run this job. So we have got the output with new date time, which is in PST time zone. You can calculate the difference between EST and PST and try to use this function. The next function is next day, which returns the date of first weekday that is later than the specified date. Let's look at the syntax of next day function, which takes two parameters as input. The first parameter is the value of date kind and second parameter is weekday. Let's see some examples of this next day function. So here we have taken a date 23rd of October 2024 and we want to check when will be the next Tuesday after 23rd of October. So when we run this query, we will get the output as 29th October 2024. On this date, we will get next Tuesday. Similarly, you can calculate when you will get next Monday after 23rd October, which will be on 28th October 2024. So this is how we use next day function to calculate the weekdays from the specified date. The next function is sysdate, which returns the current date time of Oracle server. So here's the query to use sysdate date function, which returns the current date time from Oracle server, which is 24th of October 2024, and the time is 1:29 a.m. The last datetime function is trunc, which truncates the date to the format specified. Let's look at the syntax of this trunc function. So here is the syntax of trunc function. We need to pass two parameters as input. The first parameter should be of date kind and the second parameter is the format on which we want to truncate this date column. Let's look at some practical examples of using trunc function. Here we have used this trunc function and taken two parameters. The first parameter is a date, which is of date data type, and the second parameter is the format on which we want to truncate our date. So when we pass the format as month, it always gives the first date of the month. Let's go ahead and run this job. So if you notice here, the input we have provided was 27th of October 1992 and we have truncated this date to month format and we have got first date of the month, which is 1st October. Now let's use another example and truncate this date based on the year format. So it gives us the first date of the year, which is 1st January 1992. So with this, we have covered most of the datetime functions are available in Oracle. That's it for today. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.